Judge, do you want me to continue calling?
Go ahead and, Paul.
Or to continue calling?
Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Monday, March the 11th. My name is Judge Esparza. We have a couple of writ hearings this afternoon. We do not have a court reporter today. If you are requesting to have your hearing heard before a court reporter, we will reset you for a later date. If I have any objections, please state so now. Not hearing any objections, we will proceed. Proceedings are being broadcast on YouTube for the public. The first case we're going to call is C-1038-24-L, State of Texas versus Rafael Olivares. Mr. Olivares is present in the courtroom. Stand up, please. ¿No habla inglés? De pie, enfrente aquí. Más para atrás, más para atrás. Más. Ahí mero, ahí está bien. Okay. Mr. Olivares is present in the courtroom. He is Spanish speaking. Let me get my interpreter out here. Okay, Mr. Hernandez, this is your motion. Apologize for the delay. He is Spanish speaking, so go slow so we can handle the interpretation there.
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. It's me, Hector Hernandez. Can you hear me? Are we good?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Your Honor, I've been in contact with Ms. Annalise regarding the purpose of why he's in jail. My client, it appears that this alleged incident or these alleged incidents occurred back in 2020. He was recently in custody. He's still in custody, but he was recently in court for some charges that he disposed of. However, upon disposing of them, it appears there was an old warrant for him on these cases. The confusion, Your Honor, is that, as I understand it, I believe he's working or he's alleged to have various aliases. So there's a lot of confusion on my part and maybe that of my client as to if he's the proper person being held on these charges or not. I have not been able to compare with photos from booking sheets on the previous cases in order to figure this out, Your Honor. So we were or are asking for a bond reduction. However, I've been told my client has an ICE hold.
Yes, I did inform Mr. Hernandez, Judge, that I didn't see an ICE hold, but I see in the paperwork an ICE detainer on his paperwork.
I saw that too.
So I just didn't feel comfortable. And I had looked at to what Mr. Hernandez had said about, you know, he had previous cases. It looks like the new failure to ID is newer. That's the problem, is that he identifies himself with different names all the time, you know? And that's why it's hard. I mean, basically.
I did see a motion to dismiss the complaint on the failure to ID that was signed March the 8th.
I did see that as well, Judge, but that was a different failure to ID.
Okay.
So he picked up another failure to ID, like with a newer date. Was what I saw.
Yes.
It has a different date of birth, but it has also known as
Give me a second. On the failure to ID, what's the complaint number?
This is a different immigration.
We'll go back to 2007. That's actually, Annalise, I'm looking at the complaint number and the failure to ID charge from one that's from 2020. The complaint number is that 20-07-1463.
Oh,
That's
I'm
the
sorry.
same one that's on motion to dismiss.
That's correct, Judge, and that one has already been dismissed. There's an order of dismissal on that failure to ID.
So then all he has is the tampering with government
Yes.
records, is that correct?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
Judge.
And the bond is currently set at 25,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
And show him in custody 11 days. Do you know if he has status here in the United States, I think? Mr. Hernandez?
My understanding, I believe, is he does not, but if he wants to state otherwise, Your Honor, I have no objection to him answering you to that matter, but I believe he does not. And also, Your Honor, just to be clear, my client on February 27th of this year was sentenced to 93 days Hidalgo County Jail, credit for 93 days on the 1244A out of the 275th. So if you couple that with the alleged 11 days he has here, he has over 100 days credit.
What
Which
was that charge?
It was the cause number is CR0016-24E. It was a state jail, possession of controlled substance. So he disposed of that case, and then he thought he was going to get out. And then they said, no, you're staying here because you have new charges. So when I met with him, he told me he was very confused because he did not understand why he had the charges and why are they barely coming up if he's been here for so long. And that's where the confusion is with the aliases and so forth. I don't know if maybe the PD wasn't aware of him in there or what, or how they found this out, if it is him or not.
Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? What city do you currently live in?
Álamo, Macabe, Álamo de César Chávez,
How long have you lived there?
10 años ya.
Are you married?
No, siempre he sido solo, con una amiga, no,
You have children?
no, nada.
You have a job?
Sí, construcción, así de.
And you worked at Taco Bell ID as well.
Annalise, you're opposed to any reduction?
Yes, Judge.
I didn't see an ice hold. I didn't see the detainer there. But it's not showing that there's a hold, right?
It doesn't show a hold, but it did show the detainer.
Like, is he able to make any type of bond?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. He's been in jail over 100 days now. Based on my notes, I do not believe my office nor myself have had contact with anybody who can vouch for him to say they can pay the bond. I may
Do you have contact information for him as far as the phone number and address when he gets out?
Yes, Your Honor, when I met with him, it's in my other intake file, but I did do an intake on him when I met with him to obtain that information.
I'm gonna go ahead and give him a $1,500 cash surety, PR bond.
And
He
Judge,
should get out. I'm sorry, go ahead.
just so you know, Judge, the TCIC, NCIC shows he's had prior removals.
When was the last one?
2018.
5 years ago.
Annalise, if I may interrupt,
Uh-huh.
does your system indicate by any chance how soon your intake department can look at it to maybe indict him if it is on a felony, if they choose to go forward?
My system does not indicate that.
Thank you. We'll defer to you, Your Honor.
Okay. You know what, let me just make it $1,000 cash surety.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you get out on bond, sir, stay in contact with your attorney. You understand? Okay. Okay. All right. That'll be our bond will be reduced to $1,000 cash surety. Good
Thank you,
luck to
Your
sir. Thank you, Mr. Hernandez.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Have a
Next
good day.
case we're gonna call is C-1050-24-F, State of Texas versus Eloy Marroquin. You speak English, correct, Mr. Marroquin?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Marroquin is present in the courtroom. He's English speaking. Ms. Nereida Morales Martinez, this is your motion, ma'am. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, my client is before the court on a charge of arson, a second-degree felony. He was arrested on February the 26th of 2024, and his bond was set at $100,000. He has not been able to post bond. His family, he does have a family of parents that are trying to assist him to make bond, but they have been unable to do so. He is a U.S. citizen, Judge, and has a job waiting for him. He'd like an opportunity to make bond and be able to get out and then face the charges once, of course, they are presented and we have to go to court. We respectfully are asking this court to consider lowering his bond to $10,000 cash or surety so that he can try and make that bond, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Vargas?
Judge, we're very concerned about the safety of the community and the victim. He was out on bond for a criminal mischief when he committed an assault on January 1st, 2023. He bonded out, then he picked up a stalking charge while out on bond on April 19th, 2023. The assault and the stalking involved the same victim. And then he's bonds out on the stalking and then commits the arson. And it looks like the vehicle might belong to the same victim. The victim already has a protective order in place. So these are like escalating acts of domestic violence.
Yeah, I did see that I didn't see the criminal trespass, but I saw the stalking charge from April of last year and the assault charge from June of last year. And then, as you indicated, it seemed to have escalated now to an arson charge where it was the same victim from what I saw in the complaint.
Judge, there has been a protective order. I believe there's the emergency protective order that are generally given in situations like this, that's in effect right now. And plus the alleged victim is asking for a protective order that's pending out of county court number 5. We are set to go to court on that case. I thought I had a date, Judge, but I know I think it's sometime next week. And we are looking at at working that out, that protective order. I've explained to my client that he would not be able to go within, 200 yards of this alleged victim. And he understands that, Judge. He just wants an opportunity to, make bond and be out while preparing for these cases. These are cases that he plans to contest, and so eventually we should be going to trial on them.
I didn't see a protective order per se, but there is part of the conditions of bail that he's not to have contact with this individual, go within 200 yards, as you indicated. Is this the victim a spouse?
I know that they're together. I'm not sure if they're married or not. They don't have children together. I think she has a child from a previous relationship.
Does your client have someplace to go other than back to the victim's home, released on bond?
Yes, Judge. He would be going back to, I believe it's his parents' house.
Do you know what city that's in?
I have an address, Judge. Let me see. I believe it's in FAR.
Okay, raise your right hand, sir. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
State your name for the record a little louder, please.
Eloy Marroquin III,
How old are you, sir?
I'm 30 years old.
What city do you currently live in?
I will be living in Edinburgh with my mother.
How old is your mom?
My mother is, I believe, 40, in her 40s, sir.
3 years old?
Yes, sir.
You have a job, sir?
Yes, I do. I've been in contact with my employer since the day I've been arrested, and as soon as I get out, I have my job currently.
Where is that job at?
It's currently, I work out of town, Your Honor. I was working in Dallas, and I will continue to work there in Dallas if I can permit.
What do you do?
I am an operator for heavy machinery.
How long have you been at that job?
I've been there for over 7 months already.
And the work is in Dallas or it's down here?
It's in Dallas, sir. It's in Dallas, and the other job site that they're currently going to be moving to in about 2 to 3 months, it's going to stay in Dallas.
Understand, sir, that there's an order as part of your conditions of bond that you're not to have any contact with this individual by the name of give me a second.
Maria Sofia.
Maria Sapiel, do you know who that is?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're not to have any contacts, sir, no text messages, no phone calls, no Facebook messages, any type of communication. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have children with her?
No, Your Honor.
Do not go to her place of residence. Do not drive by there. Do not go to her place of business. Do not drive by there. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's some addresses, right?
13.
You'll get a copy of this order when you receive. I go near the address at 413 West Thomas and Far Street, or let's see the one that. Do not go near that address. Do you understand that? We're within 200 yards.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are those cases, have the complaints been filed on those other charges?
I know that yes, today, I think that we were gonna have an indictment presented on the stalking charge. That was today that should have
Is that
been,
an F3? Is that
I'm
an
sorry?
F3?
yes,
Is that an F3?
yes, Your Honor. The arson is still, I mean, we know it's coming, but we haven't received anything from the police station yet. But the stalking went to
Go ahead,
grand jury
reduce-
today.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and reduce the bond from $100,000 to $20,000 cash surety. No contact with the victim, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Random UAs through probation. Probation will contact you. They'll have you go in periodically to drug test. If you don't show up, we're gonna have a hearing, see why we shouldn't put you in jail. If you show up and you're positive for drugs or alcohol, we're gonna have a hearing to see why we shouldn't put you back in jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Anything else from the state?
Nothing from the state, Judge.
Nothing from
Anything from
the,
the defense?
no, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Martinez.
Thank you, Judge.
Good
May I
luck to
be
you, sir. Have a
excused?
seat. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Next case we're gonna call is C-1046-24-E, State of Texas versus Jesse Chavez. Mr. Chavez is present in the courtroom. You speak English, correct, Mr. Chavez?
Yes, sir.
He is English speaking. Mr. Ortegon, this is your motion.
Correct,
You may
Mr.
proceed.
Carlos Ortegon, Your Honor, for Mr. Chavez. Can you hear
You
me,
may
Judge?
proceed, sir. Yes, you may
Judge.
proceed.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Trying to get my calendar here, Judge. He has an assault, family impeding breath, Your Honor, $100,000 cash surety, terroristic threat, 20,000 cash surety, continuous violence against the family, 100,000 cash surety, and a failed to comply sex offender, 15,000 cash surety, which my client cannot make those bonds.
For the record, Carlos, on the terroristic threat, the complaint has already been filed. It's CR 24-0217B. So I don't have jurisdiction on that cause anymore.
Which charge was that, Judge?
The terroristic threat,
Okay. I'm sending that to my office.
what are you requesting, sir?
Judge, we're asking for a reasonable bond. 100,000 cash surety is beyond his financial abilities. We're asking for at least 5,000 cash surety on each of these charges, which will still be difficult, Your Honor, but at least they can try.
Annalise,
Judge, this defendant is a sex offender and a habitual offender. He's facing a minimum of 25 years prison on these offenses. He was out on bond on a failure to register as a sex offender from December of 2023 when he picked up these additional cases. So he has a verification of incarceration. I mean, he's facing a minimum of 25 years prison. He's a danger to the community. I would be opposed to a bond reduction.
okay, there is a protective order that was issued by the magistrate, which will expire. Well, actually, it looks like, let me see. Will expire April 25th. What that means, Mr. Chavez, is that you're not to have any contact with a Celia Castro,
Yes, sir.
or Audrey Guerrero, or Jacob Guerrero,
Yes, sir.
for at least 60 days or until that date, unless they request an additional protective order from the court. You are not to go within 200 yards of the residence at 1100 Anaquitas Street, number 113 in Mercedes, Texas. You are not to go near A&J's Mini Donuts at 208 North Victoria Road in Donna, nor the child care facility Zachary Taylor Elementary in Mercedes, 900 North Missouri, Mercedes, Texas, or the Hidalgo County Head Start Program at 950 West 6th Street in Mercedes, Texas. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do not drive by there, go within 200 yards of those locations, no phone calls, no communication. Is that clear, sir?
Yes, sir.
If you do, you will be violating a protective order, facing additional charges. You're not to be in possession of any weapons either.
Yes, sir.
All of you, sir, raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You put your hand down. How old are you, sir?
53.
What city do you live in?
I was living in Mercedes at the time, sir.
Do you have somewhere else to go if you make bond?
Yes, sir. What's the code?
He lives in Westlaco.
My sister.
You have a job, sir?
Yes, sir. I was working in construction with
How long have you been doing that?
for almost a year.
You're a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
Where were you born?
Petersburg, Texas.
These assault charges are from two different incidents, is that correct? One in January and one in February?
Check that, Judge.
I show one in February 20th. Assault charge, and then one for
Yes.
January 20th.
25th, that's correct, Judge.
On the failure to comply sex offender registration, I'll reduce the bond there to $5,000. Cash surety. On the count one of the assault of the family member, household member impeding breath, bond will be reduced to $10,000 cash surety. On the continuous violence against family member, bond will be reduced to $10,000 cash surety. Total of $25,000 cash surety. The terroristic threat, I don't have jurisdiction over, Mr. Ortega.
Yes, sir. No, we understand that, Judge. We understand that.
All right, that'll be the judgment of the court. No contact with the victim, sir.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and have a seat. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge, for the reasonable bond. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Bye-bye.
Mr. Ball.
I called him twice. He sent me the voicemail. It rang through. Do you want me to try once more?
No, that's fine. We have one more case this afternoon. It's C-1063-24-A, State of Texas versus Jasmine Cervantes. Go ahead and stand up, sir. You speak English, Mr. Cervantes? His attorney is Mr. Jonathan Ball. Annalise, have you had contact with Mr. Ball?
He had asked me at some point, they had reached out to me and asked me if the docket was on Zoom, and I said yes. But that was sometime last week, Judge.
Okay. Well, it's currently 2:30. We called his office 3 times. It just went to voicemail. You all didn't discuss anything on the bond. We'll go ahead and reset this matter. We'll reach out to his office and contact him as far as the reset date later this week or sometime next week.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Have a good afternoon. The attorney's not present, sir. We're going to reset this matter for later this week or next week on the bond reduction. All right, good. Good luck to you, sir. Have a seat.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Judge. May I be
Annalise.
excused? Okay, thank you.
Yes.